Earthion is a horizontal shooter developed by Ancient, released in July 31st, 2025. Bitwave Games handled the Steam port, and Limited Run Games handled the console physical release. And I want to talk about how I feel about the game since it was released in one whole year. There were a few small updates to the game since its release, some bug fixes, some more challenges, and they added a button where you can release a weapon that you currently have. In my past review, I felt that the game was impressive visually and sonically, but messy gameplay design wise. So how do I feel now? I still feel the game is messy, but I've softened up quite a bit after playing it a bit more and understanding the weapons more. I still don't like the adaptation pod that you have to give up the slot to gain an upgrade, but learning how to no-miss normal mode difficulty, it did create a bit of a fun strategy for me. So I had to think, okay, what should I upgrade and what should I get for the next stage? Should I upgrade my main shot and shield? Should I upgrade my weapon levels, which makes the weapons last longer when getting hit? Or should I open up an extra weapon slot to have space for a special weapon with another weapon? So that element, it was a little engaging, to be honest with you. And you know what? I was actually pretty harsh on weapons being too situational, but I learned that it's good for certain stages and certain bosses. I remember I was hating pretty hard on the blast array weapon, and now it's probably one of my favorites because of the angles that it can cover. The shot power isn't too high because of the shot rate, but it's still good to use on certain stages with enemies flying around you. Another weapon that I really like to use, especially against bosses, is the buzzsaw. You can select it before stage 5 if you have the adaptation pod. The downside with the buzzsaw is that it's horrible to use in certain stages. The way to use the buzzsaw for bosses is that you deploy it out near or on top of the weak spot of bosses and let the shots rip at it while you move freely and use your main shot. So it's great to use against stage 5 mid boss, stage 5 end boss, and stage 6 end boss. Another weapon I didn't like at first but grew on me so much is the Apex. It's basically like a grenade launcher with the crosshair aim. It can aim anywhere horizontally, so it can be used up close or at far range. It can also go through walls and other obstacles and has high damage and covers a wide and high area. The downside is that it's pretty slow to use. It's great against stage 5 end boss, stage 6 end boss, and it actually helped me no death clear the game on normal difficulty towards the end. Speaking of clears or 1cc's, I'm not sure if I really want to do hard difficulty or hot shot difficulty because I just feel the game is just too messy. I would recommend, if you feel that normal mode is too easy to 1cc, but you don't want to bother with the sloppiness of hard difficulty or hot shot difficulty, maybe try a no miss no death clear. I actually enjoy learning the game this way. So why don't we go to the no death clear, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on Earthion being released for an entire year. Okay, we're doing this no miss clear on normal difficulty. And I decided to do the little mini game right here. You hold whatever button that they ask you first to press when you hit whatever difficulty in the previous screen. And you just go along with the sequence, get a few bonus points, which is pretty cool. Okay, stage 1. Oh, and also I'll be using this little pointer to point things out. Yep, pick up the V-Fire, shoot these dudes. Pick up some more gems. Yeah, this stage isn't too bad of a first stage. I will say that like right now things are pretty easy and comfortable. Got this big enemy. I think I was going to switch to the beam weapon, but I decided not to. Right here, just avoid these. They tell you where it's going to be. All right, now we have a sub boss. The debris gets in the way. I get close right here, then back off. Yeah, he gives you a lot of gems. There's another V-Fire up there. Don't really need it since I already have one. Couple medium-sized enemies over here. Now we got the flamethrower. I think it's called fire cannon. Yep, pick that up to replenish the shields and shot power, but I'm getting hit along the way. Because yeah, that area, it's a little weird because of the debris flying around, and then there's enemies just kind of shooting wherever they want to. All right, so I get the adaptation pod, ditch the beam weapon, because this fire weapon is pretty good against this boss if you want to quick kill it. Yeah, the design of this boss is pretty good. Like, I just love how there's like the surrounding drones and stuff, and they're shooting from behind. Yep, that's how you're supposed to do it. I still haven't found a way to get, you know, not hit from this boss. I know it's possible. All right, so I enhance my shields and main shot. That way we can get more shield, more shot level. All right, I will say this stage kind of shows a little of how the emulation on the Steam version that, you know, that's by Bitwave, how it struggles quite a bit. Because things get really choppy. Yep, I get the blast array. At first, I didn't like this weapon, but it's actually pretty good because, you know, it shoots 8 ways. It's not that powerful, but it gets the job done. Yep, avoid those shots. Shooting from the background. I think that's pretty cool. Now see, look at the beam. There's like, it looks like sprite flicker a little bit. All right, I decided to skip that missile launcher. All right, we have a large enemy. I would say a sub boss. I would say one of the sub bosses, struggling to get close with the fire cannon. There we go. We got it. Get some gems. Now, I think if you shoot the debris from the enemies and the large enemies and the sub boss with the shot of your sub weapon, you get the bigger gems or something. It seems like it. All right, now we got the prism laser. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, see, look how enemies are just like shooting behind them while they exit the screen. It's kind of sloppy. All right, now this is the real sub boss right here. Gonna thrust forward. Yep. Now I'm gonna give up the prism laser for the adaptation pod for where we can get a upgrade. All right, so there is a safe spot right here, but I decided to not go with it because my spacing was off and I didn't want to get killed, so I decided just to fight it straight up. It's not too bad. All right, so with this part, I'm gonna shoot this top arm right here and just go on in. Took a hit or two. Just keep shooting it while it's trying to reform, while I'm hitting the middle part with the blast array. Got him. Okay, so I chose to enhance shields and main shot again. More shields, more shot power. Going on to stage 3. I would say visually, the stage is pretty nice looking. There is some tight areas that you'll see that are a little weird. So I have the detonator. I don't think I use it. I'm trying to remember if I did. Because the blast array covers a good amount of, I would say, angles. But it just isn't as powerful as the detonator. Oh, we got the V shot right here. V fire. Yeah. Swap that for that. Yeah, don't let that snake enemy hang around too long. Yeah, see enemies, they're getting real close. Bullets just releasing at very close ranges. Yeah, see, I got hit right there because I just didn't see it, or I just couldn't react to it. We got one sub boss right here. Not that difficult. Got a fair amount of gems from that enemy. All right, it's funny, I got hit right when I got my shields replenished from that item. Another blast array. All right, decided to skip the missile launcher right there. All right, so this sub boss has the adaptation pod, so I'm just gonna just stay low. Shoot it with a V fire in the middle. Adaptation pod. So I ditched the V fire for the adaptation pod because this weapon does really good against this boss. Yep, I'm just gonna swing underneath. Let it open up. Just stay on it. And that's it. That's how you deal with it. Yep, we're just gonna keep enhancing the shields. And that's the max right there. All right, so this weapon is gonna help against this opening boss. I'm gonna go up, get some more gems. Shoot it from behind. We got it. Now, this stage, in my opinion, is pretty fun because there's just so much to destroy. All right, there's a 1-up right here. Let's see if I try to get it. Let's see. Yep, I got it. Even though I'm doing a no miss, I'll still take the 1-ups for points at the end. And see, look how this blast array is helping this specific stage. All right, we got a large enemy. I usually stay sort of up here in this sort of area. Yeah, because yeah, there's a little enemies shooting things and stuff like that. And if I didn't have this blast array, things will get ugly pretty fast. All right, so I'm gonna use the V-Fire now because it's a little more powerful, even though I don't have any angles behind me. Now we got the fire cannon. Swapped it. Took out the prism laser. Because I'm going to use that for the boss. Okay, and there's a safe spot right where I'm at right now. Yeah, those bullets aren't aiming at me or anything. That little fire ball ain't really going nowhere towards me. So, yep, that's all you got to do. So now I have the adaptation pod, ditch the V-Fire. And we're just going to just rock with this. The only thing is that I don't really get many angles to help me out, but it's nothing too intense. Oh yeah, I love the enemy wave right there. All right, boss fight. Yep, just like the voice clip says, that's all you have to do. Aim for his mouth. Avoid the little puke that comes out, and yeah, use the flamethrower to speed kill it. All right, so now I decide to increase the sub level and the max level. So that means that the weapons will last longer. And they won't deplete so easily whenever I get hit, because you're going to get hit a lot. And I want to make sure I keep the weapons as long as I can. So now we descended down. Just got to be careful to not get hit by all the sentries and the turrets and stuff. There's like a fair amount of items on that right side, you know, which is kind of tempting to get. So now we're in fighting this sub boss. Yeah, this is all you got to do. For some reason, those green shots never hit me. I don't know why. Not like I want them to. I mean, I evade them. Maybe the range is just really, really short. Yep. Now, if I had the buzzsaw weapon, there's a trick with that weapon, but I decided to just, you know, increase my sub weapon levels, you know, instead of doing that. All right, so this area is a little weird because things get really, really tight spatially. And it's very, very easy to get hit by things. By bullets, by those rocks coming out of the lava. So right now I'm trying to get keep the APEC. And I'm just juggling it while trying to avoid getting hit. Yeah, that part is weird. Really, really weird. Now I have to avoid the blast array. Now we have the enemy that has the adaptation pod. I'm going to use the APEC. Try to blast it with it. Got it. There we go. Got the adaptation pod, and I have the APEC weapon to help me with this boss. So I'm just gonna do my best to keep it right on that area, that weak spot. And also these shots, these little plasma nacho shots, those are pretty easy to avoid. There's a little safe spot with those, I noticed. Not guaranteed, but nothing is like really, really aiming at you. So I'm just gonna hide behind the rocks, blast it. And also you can shoot those little small fireballs coming out of the water. I mean, out of the lava. There we go, we got it. And that's another boss where you can use that buzzsaw special weapon to sort of speed kill it and make the fight easier. All right, yep, we're going to keep increasing that. Increasing the sub levels and max it out. Keep our weapon level nice and healthy, where we won't lose it easily when we get hit. Now my shot level is a little low, so I'm gonna try my best to get it up to max, because I'm gonna need it. So yep, we got the scatter beam. This weapon is okay, it has a nice range. I was kind of saying like to, you know, maybe express that I don't really use this one that much. It's not a bad weapon. All right, so now we maxed out. All right, this sub boss is, yeah, it's kind of weird. The shots have these like weird angles because he's like moving up and down. There we go, got it. Okay, I'm all maxed out. And now I switch to my APEC. All right, this part's kind of fun, blowing up the thrusters. All right, we descended down. There's enemies coming from below. Gotta be careful. Okay, so now this section, because things are getting close, things are gonna get weird as far as getting hit goes and trying to avoid damage. Yep, grab that shield weapon, then get hit at the same time of me getting that. Yeah, see, I'm getting hit a lot right here. Yeah, I'm gonna ditch that detonator. Try to recover my shield. Yep, enemies drop down right here. And there's these thrusters. Yeah, use the back shot of that to get rid of it. Now, because of the sprite flicker, it's kind of hard to see the beam from that. All right, now this this enemy right here. Let me pause it real quick. Yeah. They have the adaptation pod, and they're moving all over the place. And then there's enemies coming out of these hatches. Very, very chaotic right here. And this scatter beam is not really doing too well, but I got it. So I'm gonna keep the APEC. Now, I really wish I had another weapon slot where I can use that V-Fire, but I don't have it. All right, here we go. Time for the boss. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use only the sub weapon by itself with a little bit of the main shot. So we're going to start it off like this. So when that other, yeah, this little small, let me pause it. Yeah, this drone right here. Yeah, whenever you hit it, it's going to release bullets. So right here, I just decided just to use only the APEC. No main shot. Or I won't get any bullets coming out. There we go. Easy. All right, we got our attachment on the back. All right, now we're at level 6 for the sub weapon. And that will be our final upgrade. All right, these enemies are kind of cool how they're kind of going in the background and stuff. And then coming up to your plane. Or I should say your level. I think that's pretty cool. Even though sometimes, you know, it could look kind of janky, but it got the job done. And sometimes it looks like you can hit it, but It's not actually on your plane. All right, so this part right here, okay. All right, release it right when the head emerges and you're at this position right here. Got it. You know what? Let me see if I can. Let me rewind it for you. All right, so I'm right here. Press the buttons that they tell you to press. It may be, well, actually it's different if you're playing on Sega Genesis or PlayStation 4 or 5. Yeah, stay right here. Right when it pops up. Got it. I always want to do that. I don't want to fight that boss when you miss. I think maybe you get more points if you decide to fight him, but I don't like to fight him. All right, so this area, it's a little tricky. Very, very tight. Enemies on the wall, on the ground floor, on the ceiling. All right, I'm gonna use this detonator just for a little bit. Yeah, enemies shooting you from behind, from the front, many different areas. All right, I was having trouble shooting at an enemy because of the angle and range of this detonator. All right, now I'm gonna use my Apex to shoot through the walls before I get to the opening. I'm gonna ditch the detonator for the V-Fire, which is gonna help. Yep, you gotta get into this part real quick. Use Apex, blow them to pieces through the wall. Got a 1-up. Gotta be careful during this part. A lot of stuff going on. There we go, made it through. Yeah, that's a hard part. Really, really hard. So now we're gonna come across the blast array. I'm gonna use that instead of the V-Fire. Yep, I wanna avoid the exhaust or steam from those mechanical arms. Use the blast array to cover angles above and below and behind me. And the diagonal angles as well. Yeah, see? Yeah, enemies are just kind of like popping out of anywhere, damn near. Yep, shooting behind them. Not caring at all. Oh, yep, don't want to get trapped right there. A big gem, couple other more gems. Yep, avoiding that, but still getting hit at the same time. And we're through with this section. I still think the middle section is the hardest of this stage. All right, now it's time to fight the boss. All right, he could be a little tricky. So when he starts throwing out these shotgun shots, I just stay behind him. You can like sort of full dodge those shots, but I just stay behind him. It's easier for me. Right now I'm gonna use the Apex, try to blast him. Now the shotgun is back. And yeah, there's bullets just kind of just falling out of him and reaching you. Like it just feels kind of random and sloppy. And then also it's coming out of that little diamond that's surrounding him. And yeah, when he's shooting the shotgun, he can't take any damage. Only in this form right here. All you're really doing is weakening the shotgun. So it has its own like HP from what I'm sort of guessing. All right, gotta evacuate. All right, so now our ship is destroyed. Gonna swap, get into this blue ship. Okay, final stage, which is more like a sort of a boss rush kind of stage. Okay, I chose the blast array where I can cover more angles. All right, so for this guy, he's only vulnerable when you take off all his shells. Sure to evade these little bridges and columns. I was trying to see if there's like a safe area, but I couldn't find one. Yep, gotta evade those fireballs that are emitting out of him during that phase. All right, we almost got him. All right, so right here, I'm gonna wait before I kill him. There we go. I do that for I can try to get all the gems. All right, so right here, I kind of thought maybe I made a mistake getting this prism laser for this part. But I decided to rock with it, so yeah. I think this is probably the hardest boss in the game for this difficulty. Because yeah, there's all these shots coming at you from different angles. And they're pretty fast. And yeah, I lost my prism laser, so I'm just gonna use the APEC as best I can. The damage is pretty good. Yeah, I'm just moving up and down so far. I just want to just evade and avoid everything. My shields are good, and my shot is at I would say a decent level. Yeah, this part is just hard. And if you're having trouble with this part, don't feel bad. All right, we almost got him. Oh, watch out for the big laser. That will take you out. Almost got him. Yeah, nice. The APEC got him. Now we're gonna keep shooting. Get our shot level up. You know, just replenish everything we have. All right, final boss. So those are little wheel shots. Be very, very careful with those. Now, these rocks don't hit you. You're just being pulled to the center, and that might cause you to get hit by the wheel shot. This beam, yeah, just do this. Go underneath. All right, these little sort of diamonds can hit you too. Now we're getting pushed out. And then these big kind of aggro crag looking rocks, just blast them. Get some points. Evade more of these diamonds. Yeah, my shields are good. Like, I'm feeling really good right here. And my Apex is doing decent work. Good damage. I can control, like, when and where to release it. Time for the finishing hit. Got him. The game being out for a year, I was hoping for a balanced update, but it never happened. Maybe Ancient felt that it wasn't needed. And I was even hoping for a stage select or a stage select cheat, but it never happened and it's not here. I still feel this game is good, but not great, and that's okay. I recommend this game if you love and appreciate the retro artistry. And if you're new to Genesis shmups and horizontal shmups, give it a try. You might like it. For more seasoned and experienced horizontal shmup heads, it's a toss-up if you might dig it or not. The gameplay might frustrate you as much as it did for me and seem sloppy or not well thought out in many places. So for a sequel, if Ancient decides to make one, the gameplay needs to be tightened up. Make it challenging, not annoying, because Earthion can be annoying. Also, I would ask for more secrets, more unlockables, more modes, and have some visual customization. Maybe unlock ship colors or something, or a way to change the contrast of the backgrounds. And I would even go as far to say, and this might sound weird, is that if they decide to do another Earthion game, don't make it a Sega Genesis game. I mean, keep the Sega Genesis Mega Drive visuals and sound, but don't build it for the Genesis Mega Drive hardware. Now, I understand that limitations can inspire more creativity, but I would recommend them to go all out for the next game. The graphics, visuals, and sound are still the biggest draw for this game, and it's one of the most impressive recent Sega Genesis games released. I'm very curious. Let me know in the comments, what did you think of Earthion? Did you like it and still like it now? Did you not like it at first and it grew on you? Also, have any of you played the Exa Arcadia version of Earthion? If so, how is it? Let me know.